Hi everyone, it's James here from Production Expert, back with another gear review. Now, a couple of months ago, I looked at the Silver Bullet by Louder Than Liftoff. Well, it turns out that they don't just do rack unit mic pre's. They also do these little babies. This is the Chroma 500 series mic pre by Louder Than Liftoff. Now, Chroma in a 500 series format does lose a lot of the functionality of the full 2U Silver Bullet. How would it not? It's much smaller, it's a much smaller form factor. However, what makes the Chroma such an interesting option for a mic pre is that you're not tying yourself in to one particular flavour. We still have the A, API, and the N, Neve, flavours of mic pre circuit already built in here. But Chroma is so much more. Oh yes. A couple of years ago, I got into building my own audio hardware. I started off by looking at some stuff by a company called DIY Recording, who have very close links with the guys at Louder Than Liftoff. Now, back then, I built a couple of 500 series modules called the Color Palette, and you can see those down there in my rack. And along with those come these amazing little modules called Color. See where this is going, boys and girls? Now, one of the cool things about the Chroma 500 series module is that you can strap in those color modules. Now, you can either buy them, and I have a selection of them that I've been trying out by the guys at Louder Than Liftoff, or if you're so inclined electronically, you can design and make your own, because they actually will ship you just the basic board that fits inside Chroma. Now, one of the other cool things is that Chroma is so much more than just yet another mic pre. Yes, it's a mic pre with optional flavours and that amazing A and N circuits, but it's also a line processor, so not just mics can be fed into it. If you're using a 500 series chassis like I am, this radial one allows me to route things through on different inputs and stuff like that. So you're hearing me now through the other Chroma 500 series module that I have down in my radial rack. And I'm using that as in mic pre mode. However, what most of this review will be is you listening to not only the 500 series box itself in both A and N mode, but also a selection of the color modules, 3 in fact, that I particularly liked. They're very, very cool, very, very versatile, and fairly inexpensive. That's the one thing about 500 series that has really caught on, is the fact you can change your flavor of mic pre very, very easily and very quickly. You don't need to buy extra power supplies. You don't need to buy extra bits and pieces. Pull one thing out, put another one in. Now, Chroma takes this idea a stage further. If you want to change from a FET style mic pre to a valve style pre to a transformer style pre, just grab yourself a color module, slap it in, and it's a very, very easy process to do that. They just pop off and pop back in again. And you are away. And these little modules start at about $79. Very, very cool, very versatile, and just a lot of fun. So let's have a quick look up close and personal on Chroma. So obviously Chroma is a 500 series module, so we only get a certain amount of real estate to play with. We have an input style selector. Now this goes between mic and line inputs, phantom power, polarity switch, and high gain. Now the high gain mode can either be used to bring up the level of quieter mics and ribbon mics, things like that, or it can be used to go full out and give your input signal some serious juice. We then have the A and N button, and we can switch between A mode and N mode. We then have our main input gain. We then have a really funky center starting input meter. Very, very cool. Again, it's those lovely purpley red, blue LEDs that they use on the main Silver Bullet. We then have the color button, which engages the color module, and the C LED lights up with a different color depending on which color module you have installed. Very nice touch. We then have a drive and a mix control for the color module only, and effectively our output volume. Now, these two down here are really nice. We have a nice little high frequency bump and a nice little low frequency bump, just adding a bit more clarity and a bit more weight to the overall signal. It's a very, very simple box to use. Slide it into your 500 series chassis and away you go. So, to the test. I've recorded about 40 seconds of drums, which you'll hear 4 times. First time is just through A and N mode. Then we kick in and kick out the high frequency and low frequency boost. We then kick into some of the modules, and the first one we're going to hear is this one, the Mass Driver. This is a dirty, great big transformer for a 500 series box, and this is going to give us that big American console sound. Absolutely fantastic sound of, well, you know who, don't you? The next one we're going to hear is this baby. This is the Pentode. Believe it or not, there is a tiny little sub-miniature valve or tube on this module. It is so sweet and so tiny, but it just does a really nice job of adding some of that lovely valve warmth to the signal. Next one we hear is this one. This is the Pulse module. And if you, like me, love a bit of tape delay and a bit of tape warmth and saturation, this could be the module for you. It sounds absolutely killer. I've gone through sort of several levels of grunge, dirt and filth, but hopefully there'll be something in there to your tastes. So if you're shopping for a flavour of mic pre, the Chroma could be your magic bullet, to steal a phrase. It is absolutely cool. The A and the N circuits on their own, I think, sound really great. Add with that the potential and the variation for adding colour modules, and you have got an entire army of really usable, very different flavours. And I think that's exactly the point they're trying to make here. They are flavours. It's not completely changing the character of your mic pre. It's allowing you to dial in some of that colour, some of that flavour. They really have hit the nail on the head when it comes to naming this stuff. The colour modules, colour equals flavour equals tone almost. But to call it a tone module would probably be a bit too strong. I really like this thing. This is one of those ones I don't want to let go. Certainly from a point of view of price, they're very cost effective. We'll put all the details down there in the Pro Tools Expert text. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to go back to the original Pro Tools Expert article, because that's where all the goodness is. But for now, my name's James Ivey, and I'll see you again very soon for some more gear talk.